Wow, we have been on the road for a total of 4 months this year. We've seen so many things, been to so many places, it is like we're losing track.
Hi, I'm Wade.
And I'm Lorraine.
And we are
on the off-ramp.
And today we are taking the Digby Nova Scotia ferry from Digby into St. John, New Brunswick, where we will be spending a week with family.
Now these family feel like friends and we spend a lot of time with them, also in 𝗏𝗏, but what a privilege to be able to explore the area of New Brunswick with them. A lot of people ask us, so 𝗀𝗄𝗄, what's next? There is something big planned for what's next. Stay to the end of the video to find out what we're going to be doing next.
And if you're enjoying the content of these videos, please take the time to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for future notifications. And leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, we are right behind this semi-truck as we are leaving the ferry and into New Brunswick, into St. John.
In 600 meters, continue straight onto Lancaster Street.
And that ride was what, 2.25 hours?
Well, not even 2 hours and
2 hours and we're
9
there,
minutes
yeah.
right now since we left. So
when we booked, we were told we were getting the last spot possible.
well, we're at the Reversing Falls, or the Reversing Rapids in St. John. And this could be the place we're going to stay tonight. We'll see.
We are in New Brunswick and last night spent the night at Costco, then did some shopping this morning to take some groceries over to our next mooch docking site as we spend about 7 days with family here in New Brunswick. But to get to their spot, we need to take another ferry. Can't believe how many ferries we've taken in this trip already, Wade.
4 ferry rides in 2 days.
Yeah, so this one is a free one, and you basically just, I think it's called a cable ferry. So as we cross to the other side, there's another ferry with a few vehicles on it.
You can just see the cable
this way. Oh, you can see the cable. Ah, that yellow cable. Oh yeah, so it just goes back and forth on a cable.
Yeah. We have about a week of mooch ducking that we're doing with family here in New Brunswick. And this is the view we see from our van. And we'll show you just a piece of the cottage in the view, but it's a beautiful sight. And we have Lorraine's 2 sisters and their husbands here with us as well. It's one of their cottages. And
we're walking into what's known as the Container Village, and we're hanging out with family on a rainy day, checking these out and see what they have to offer in terms of shopping and things to do. And so pretty excited. The rain's not stopping us. We're going to go and enjoy looking around the Waterfront Container Village. So if you're ever in St. John, make sure you take a stop. As you head. Oh, I can smell this stuff coming. Great smell coming out of the smokehouse. That's a place to stay out of the rain, or are you getting wet in there too? No, not at all. Anybody seen Wade?
He went somewhere because he didn't want to get wet.
Okay, so Wade's the only one that's in our group that doesn't have a jacket. And we have no idea where he took off to. Oh, the coffee smells good. Oh, we found Wade. It's the guy without the jacket. Downtown St. John and on the harbor. Actually, we are standing on a deck that's on top of a couple of container ships or container boxes, and there we go, and that's the harbor front. St. John harbor front is being developed. Going to be more of a tourist attraction than ever. Concerts, little beer vendors, food, clothing. We just walked through there in the rain, not too many people, but wow, what a great place to come and visit and see part of a gem here in St. John. And how better to do that with, those are some of my favorite people. We're sitting here in the Container Village, and the people that we're with, my sister and her husband, our brother-in-law, he grew up here in St. John, and he has told us that this little building, look at that, has not been torn down, has not been removed, but this is the place where his grandfather was a sail maker, and that was his shop where he made sails for the ships. Great information here on the harbor about the Great Fire of 1877. great is an interesting word for it, but a horrible fire which pretty much took down a good third of this harborfront right here where we are. And many were homeless. About 13,000 people were homeless, and interestingly enough, only 18 people passed away in this horrible fire. And so this harborfront here and these posters give a good information about the fire, the aftermath, and the recovery.
We've had a good time here. We're into the week of time of mooch stocking on the St. John River at family's place. We've had quite a bit of rain, but we've still had a really good, enjoyable time together.
Not yet.
It's going like, oh. There you go.
So when you're in New Brunswick, I think one of the things you're going to learn is that blueberries is a thing here. So not just ordinary blueberries. Looks like this is wild blueberries, and it might be noon, but we're all stopping here for our lunch, which will be an ice cream sundae with blueberries on it.
Downtown St. Andrew, right off the 𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗄𝗃𝗀𝗃. So my brother-in-law is just inside making reservations for us at the Gables. We're going to have lunch there today before we head out to Minister's Island. This is St. Andrews, New Brunswick, right on the 𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗄𝗃, and this is their downtown section. And the girls found a hat store and scarves and things like that, so they went in here.
When the tide goes out, we get to drive to Minister's Island, and we are driving right on the ocean floor. Oh, this is cool.
So why do our cars parked? Because some people don't want to go to Minister's Island. They just want to walk onto the ocean floor. So now, like, because the tide's out, now there's a roadway. See?
So people can either park here and just visit the area, or then cross over on this piece of land and get to Minister's Island.
In 1889, Sir William Van Horne, president of the Canadian Pacific Railway, arrived in St. Andrews, New Brunswick on tour of inspection of the New Brunswick Railway, newly purchased by CPR. Van Horne was impressed with the town and in 1891 purchased 150 acres and began construction of Covenhoven, his summer home. Designed by Van Horne himself, Covenhoven was constructed of red sandstone quarried on the island and was originally relatively small. Between 1892 and 1901, Van Horne continued to expand, making two major additions to the house, with an eventual floor space of 10,000 square feet. Van Horne was assisted in these renovations by Edward Maxwell, a celebrated Montreal architect responsible for many renowned designs across Canada, including numerous CPR commissions such as Chateau Frontenac. When completed, the house had 50 rooms, of which around 26 made up the family's main living quarters. The varying stages of construction created unique features, including 3 roof pitches arranged serially, numerous staircases, unusual connections between rooms, and multi-leveled attics. As an avid and knowledgeable antique collector, the walls of Covenhoven were hung with approximately 80 works of art, many of which were completed by Van Horne himself. 21 of Van Horne's works can still be seen in the home today. The home and surrounding buildings and gardens quickly became renowned, and the island became a tourist attraction even during Van Horne's lifetime, with visitors, tourists, and dignitaries alike considering the island a must-see. At the southern tip of the island, Van Horne constructed a bathhouse, a perfectly round, two-level building with the upper level offering panoramic views of the bay and the lower level containing changing rooms and providing access to the beach and the family's in-ground tidal swimming pool. In 1898, Maxwell designed a large chateau-style barn for Van Horne, one of the largest in the Maritimes. This barn was used for breeding of Van Horne's prize-winning Clydesdale horses and Dutch belted cattle. The farm served as a nursery for his larger operations in East Selkirk, Manitoba. The farm is also home to pigs, geese, ducks, chickens, and turkeys.
This is evidence that we've left the party. Okay, these three guys are putting together a woodshed. Nice little project to do while they're got some downtime in the day. And you can see the three are working, sawing, holding, making one of those fun on the off-ramp activities that we didn't expect. How good is this that the guys can do this together? Hopefully they're still friends by the time they're done. Okay, a little progress report as they went to go find a jigsaw to keep on working on their project, but you can see the woodshed is coming along nicely. And so are these three guys getting along well. Here at our mooch docking site in New Brunswick with my sister and brother-in-law, and also another sister and brother-in-law from Manitoba have come out. The guys are working on a woodshed. She's sitting there waiting for us to come outside. I was doing laundry. Jan is getting some ribs ready. This is our view as we'll work on a little project. We've got acrylic paint markers, some paint, some tubs. I think we're getting ready to paint some rocks. She calls this her friendship tree, I think. And around her friendship tree, different people who have visited have painted rocks and left them around her tree. So that's one of our required activities for today. Okay, just a short hike here in New Brunswick. Our brother-in-law John, who grew up in this area, found out about this little waterfall. Wade's pretty excited as a photographer. So we are heading down here to check it out. Of course, it's roots, it's hills. So Wade's got his gear, as you can see. These are my two sisters that we're traveling with and my brother-in-laws that we're hanging out with as we hang out here in New Brunswick. So now they're just trying to decide where to go down to get a view of the waterfalls. What's the scoop? Oh.
Well, we're going to that's the way to the, they just jump off that rock.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I can barely see the swinging rope there.
Well, I came with the brother-in-laws to this waterfall. We had to do some walking through the water. Ernie's working his way across. They took their shoes off, but I'm wearing hiking boots. They're waterproof. I'm putting them on. Of course, my feet are soaking wet because it's deep, but absolutely beautiful here, though. It's good to have brother-in-laws that you can adventure with. So this sailboat was built by John's dad, and it's known for a unique sail.
As other sailboats go beside them, they always ask him a lot of questions. Generally, it's a one-person sailboat, but John and Ernie are going together today. And they're off.
Literally, and it's not just in the middle of nowhere. You have to literally get a ferry boat to get here. People have got onto boats, and there was a disaster this afternoon. Did you see what went down? Yes, it was all kicking off. It literally sounds like one of my jokes, but this really happened. One of the ferry boats coming out, the Gondola Point ferry boats, one of them broke down, right? Which again, I have a joke about that, which I might tell you later, right? Okay? But it broke down, but most hilariously, it broke down in the middle of the water with all the cars on it.
My name's Ethan Ash. Good night. Well, I recognize your face, but I can't place it. Looking over like we've met before. And if I muster up the courage, I'll take the seat next to you at the bar. Before they call last orders and you slip away home, maybe I can get your number and I can give you a call. 'Cause I'll buy you breakfast in the morning and we can go somewhere you've never been before. I know a place down the street around the corner and you can go to whatever you want.
We have crossed the Canadian-US border in various places many times. This crossing at Maine was most challenging, and we'll be sharing that with you in the next video. We experienced something we have never experienced before.
So, are you curious about our next stop, about our next travel? Well, we are planning a trip to the UK and then into Tanzania.
Now, you wonder if we're taking our van? Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
The van is staying home this time. In fact, the van is winterized and put into storage for the winter.
Now, this may not be an RV trip, but we hope that you, as followers of On the Off Ramp, will understand that this is a great opportunity to see the world in a new way.
So join us as we visit family in the UK and then family in Tanzania.
And in all of that, yes, we will be including the sights and sounds of a safari.
Flights and lodging have all been booked, but we still need to
Hold our plans loosely.